category. So boats on the water and heading up to a start, so it won't be long now until the flag drops and we are into some hard and fast racing for the final race of the day. This is round number 2 of the Australian Offshore Superboat Championships in beautiful Corio Bay, Geelong, and we are absolutely loving the weather and the ambience of the place here at the moment. Boats we have on the course are the Saracen, the AMT, the Colonel, the Special Edition, and the Mohican are the boats that we're looking for as we line them up. We're waiting for the flag to drop. White flags flying high on the start boat. And go is the call. We are racing for the final race of the day here, round number 2 of the Australian Offshore Superboat Championships, and we have a hard charge down into turn number 1. Saracen and AMT absolutely have been going at it all weekend. On the outside there is the Special Edition having a hard run, so too is the Colonel, and they slide adrift. Oh, AMT a little bit of a hook there, just bidding a little bit into turn number 1. The boys had to be right on their game to try not to spin that boat out. Boat 77 pushing hard. There's the Colonel and the Special Edition. Colonel not looking a lot of room there for the Special Edition on the outside as they run up side by side. The Mohican rounding out the field. This smooth water not really playing into the Koala boys' hands at the moment as we go up through turn number 2 for the first time. This is the final race of the weekend, ladies and gentlemen, and it's only going to be the fittest that survive. Saracen fire up into the dogleg turn now with AMT around about 5 or 6 boat lengths behind, stretching out though. AMT will have a little bit of a look at the inside, but a really good battle going on here between the 85 mile an hour category boats, with the Special Edition just poking its nose out in front of the Colonel. The Colonel just looks a little bit off the pace to what we saw from him earlier on today. AMT just dropping through the wash of the Saracen as they go up through the dogleg as well. But the real battle going on here in the 85 mile an hour category at the moment as we go into the dogleg absolutely side by side. It is the Colonel racing and the Special Edition. Colonel racing with Jason Kelly and Jesse King, and Special Edition with Mark the Russian and Amy Preston. Up through the top turn, and that battle continues on, and in fact Special Edition just poking its nose into the lead here, so the coup de craft getting the job done, and I'm suspecting that we saw maybe potentially a little bit of an issue from the Colonel in race number 1 towards the end today, and maybe that little bit of an issue continuing, but that's certainly leaving the door open for the Special Edition boat now as they fire down the back chute towards Cunningham Pier. Saracen have got the break now as they tip down into the front, run through past the commentary box here. Have a look at the AMT racing. They're drifting and sliding across. Watch there, and they're really maintaining some boat speed here. That's hooking up for them. I made the comment in the earlier races that it was hooking in and losing a little bit of momentum in the corners. But that was a much better corner there from Andy Taylor. Have a look at this though, this is the real battle of the race, absolutely side by side, gunnel to gunnel, deck to deck racing between Special Edition and the Colonel, absolutely side by side, they are so close. Mark the Russian trying to hold them very tight here up into the top turn. Incredibly close racing here in the 85 mile an hour category. Fantastic stuff as they go up through the top turn. The big 300R Mercuries with the acceleration out of the top turn. This is a real battle going on in the 85 mile an hour category at the moment. This is a 20-minute race, folks, so slightly shorter than the last race, and we're 4 minutes in. Side by side, gunnel to gunnel, deck to deck racing as they come up into the dogleg. Colonel on the outside, Special Edition on the inside. Don't forget, folks, if you're along the banks here and you want to see these boats up close and personal, you're more than welcome to head down into the pits after this race. Everybody's welcome, and you can have a chat to the drivers, and they'll be very excited to show you their boats. So make sure you head down at the wharf shed where the pits is in Lime Burners Gardens. Saracen, race leader though, pushing on, and they look like they've got a good break on AMT now. So Saracen really been dominant here this weekend at Geelong. This boat based out of Melbourne, so it's a local race for these guys, and they want to show the Queenslanders the way home in their home territory, that's for sure. And that's a nice Camaro, Paulie. Oh, stop it. Some beautiful cars down here at Geelong at the moment, folks. Shame you're not down here. Saracen now, boat 22, comes through. Looking the part, then it's back to AMT. Looks like we've got the boss on the camera too here now, Scotty Lambert, doing a beautiful job. So that's the battle for the lead at the moment. With you can see Saracen just in the lead there, the gap back to the AMT with Andy Taylor and P2 Paul Folds. Up into the dogleg turn, and they're going to be very hard to catch from there. Focusing back now on this 85 mile an hour category race, and at the moment it's big Mark the Russian in the Special Edition. Amy Preston, his navigator, tipping down into the port turn, and there is drama. There is real drama here. Have a look at this. The Colonel coming off the plane. What a shocker for the Colonel. They've had such a good run. The boat's been fantastic. It had a little bit of a niggly issue towards the end of last race, and now, unfortunately, wowee, Jason Kelly and Jesse King come off the plane, and the Colonel is done. Trying to get it back up on the plane by the looks of things here. What a shame for these guys. And we've actually got Stephen Kelly in the boat with his son Jason in this one at the moment. I've just been informed, and it's obviously Stephen's fault because every boat he's touched this weekend stopped. So we need to keep Stephen away from boats, I think. So they get back up and going again. Obviously something there, they've had a reset. And so father-son combinations, Stephen and Jason Kelly in the Colonel. For old Jesse King, he's been substituted out, and now the boat stopped, so he'll be laughing. Anyway, back to the race lead, and that's a shame. There's a great battle going on in the 85 mile an hour category. We've got a battle going on here still with Saracen and AMT. Andy Taylor and Paul Folds just trying to chase down Andy Defina and Matthew Kelly in the Saracen. So race order at the moment is Saracen, AMT, Special Edition, Colonel Racing, and the Colonel stopped again. Thank you, Tony. So more drama there as the Colonel going out the back door. So that'll bump Mohican up into 4th place. So race order Saracen, AMT, Special Edition and Mohican. McCowan, the lake up near Winton, Lowie, Lake McCowan. So race leader now in the 85 mile an hour category. It is the Special Edition. Mark the Russian and Amy Preston doing it beautifully and got it all their own way now. And looks like Colonel dead in the water, so gee, Steve Kelly, we'll start calling him honeymoon fingers, I think. What a shame for Stevie. He wanted to get out and have a good run, but it just hasn't happened for him all weekend, unfortunately. He had those weekends. It's just the way racing goes sometimes. Back shooting, it's the Mohican with Patrick Koala Boy Boyle at the helm and Hannah Searle in the navigator's seat. Doing a very nice job as AMT comes around the outside of them and Saracen race leader still. What's AMT just going to do this final turn? Been finding the boat a lot better, I feel, in this race. Still just not able to bridge that gap between them and the Saracen. Mohican, bigger a rooster tail, so it's Cootercraft in the 85 mile an hour category at the moment. So I tell you what, these boats are these beautiful Cootercraft built down there in Malakuta. Full Malakuta crews as well. Got Mark the Russian and Amy Preston, Patrick Boyle and Hannah Searle, all out of Malakuta. Doing an awesome job in these Cootercraft boats at the moment. We're focusing on the AMT, firing up into the dogleg turn. And that boat looking fantastic, but they just don't quite have the answers for the Saracen here this weekend. But I'm sure that boat will head back up to Queensland now. And they'll be searching for a little bit more speed. They only need 1 or 2 mile an hour. And then that all changes again when it gets to a rough ocean race. So just haven't got the pace going for the smooth conditions this weekend. But tell you what, offshore racing is as much about reliability as it is about speed. And the reliability of this Cootercraft, the special edition rigged engine supplied by Mercury Racing and Race Marine in Chelsea Heights in Melbourne. Simon Isherwood, Dennis and Jack and the team down there, Rexy, done a great job in this boat to get it so fast and so reliable. Saracen firing down, just showing a lot of commitment here, the boys, Maddie Kelly and Andy DeFina. The boat looks fantastic as it just slides down to the bottom third. AMT boat, that's looking a lot better down through the corners. Really not losing any momentum at all now. It's just bite in or suck on. And doing a great job. They're just getting this boat sorted. Andy Taylor's still relatively new to the sport. Still getting his head around turning this boat. Paul Foles incredibly experienced. In fact, raced this boat prior to Andy owning it. I'll tell you well, what's going on. Hang on a minute. Saracen might have a problem here. Saracen have come off the throttle. They've had a little bit of a hiccup. It looks like it's back up and going, but it looks like the AMT is going to come up around them. This is an interesting one now. Have a look at this. Now we've got a race on our hands, folks. The AMT Racing pulls up alongside the Saracen through the dogleg. And DeFina and Kelly look across to their left shoulder and go, hang on a minute. We've got a bit of a problem here. The green machine, the rocket ship, pulls up alongside and is actually pulling away from them. AMT goes into the lead. New race leader, folks. So it's AMT Saracen. Then it's back to Special Edition Mohican and Colonel Racing, retired by the looks of things. Up through the top turn we go, and Saracen have got an issue. They've got a problem. Something's gone astray in that boat. Devastating for the boys. Well, as I was just saying, it's all about reliability, offshore powerboat racing. This boat's been sensational all weekend. But they would have really wanted these points, and I tell you what, there's a problem with the Saracen. We are 14 minutes into this 20-minute race, only 6 minutes, less than 6 minutes left to run. Special edition goes through past the commentary box, but we're focusing in on AMT now, new race leader, Andy Taylor and Paul Folds. And they are as excited as all get out. I think that boat's found a couple of mile an hour down through the bottom turn. They're absolutely flying. So there'll be big grins inside the cockpit of this AMT boat, because this will mean big points towards the championship if they can bring it home. Only have about 5 minutes left to run. Saracen, you can hear it, it's cutting out. It's come off again now, so it's almost coming to a stop here, I think. In fact, it may do. And it goes again. So there's something cutting out on the Saracen machine. Back up on the plane, but I don't know what the problem is. Clearly some sort of fuel or electrical drama. It certainly hasn't blown an engine up or anything like that, because it's going again. But they've got all sorts of drama in the Saracen machine at the moment as they go through the top turn. They'll really want to try and bring this boat home. Very important for their championship hopes and getting points in the bag. So it looks like the Saracen team might have a little bit of work to do over the break towards the next race. Up into the dogleg, Saracen goes, but unfortunately for them, AMT have taken the bone and are running with it. We'll be going into Guardian mode, True Lowy. The Mohican just running through there, beautiful boat. Paddy Boyle, the Koala Boy, doing a fantastic job. Hannah Searle, she's been sensational all weekend in the navigator's seat. Plenty of trim into that boat, and it's a lot more settled than it was at round number 1 at Wyndham Harbour as well, I'd have to say. So did a lot of work on that boat between rounds, tried to get the handling sorted out, and it looks like they've actually done a great job and got that boat handling really nicely. Then the Boss coming down the back straightaway in the special edition. Big Mark the Russian, getting it done very, very nicely indeed. Amy Preston in the navigator's seat. She's done a wonderful job all weekend as well, as that boat just runs through the two big V8 Mercury, sounding dynamic. And the AMT, they'll come around, so this will be a lap put on them. Not running in the same category, of course, so the AMT running in the Supercat outboard category, and the special edition running in the Sportsman 85 class. AMT, gee, they had a little bit of a look up the inside of special edition there. Don't know why you'd bother, but they actually had to go through a bit of spray and cross their wash there. Saracen now, sad sight, that boat not up on the pace either, even though it's up and running again. It's certainly not showing the pace that we saw from it earlier today. Up through the top turn they go. So we can see up through the dogleg, AMT, and we are at 18 minutes gone in this race. So probably 2 laps to go for these guys, 20-minute race. Just having a look down the back chute now, and we're looking at Paddy Boyle in the Mohican with Hannah Searle, and he's really hanging that boat up beautifully. It's really running hard. Just a bit smooth for him today, but reliability is going to be what it's all about. They've had the Colonel pull up for them, which has certainly helped their cause, and if they can bring this boat home, that'll be a second place trophy for them, and more importantly, valuable points towards the championship. They'll be hoping they can get some rough water coming up the next couple of races. Not sure if he's under contract to let the boss win or not. Not sure if there's team orders. But the Mohican comes through. AMT now. Put a lap on it. This was the last lap for AMT. They go through at 19.25. So Andy Taylor at P2, Paul Folds will have big grids in that cockpit. They're probably not really too interested in winning by default with Saracen having that problem, but you've got to take the points where you can get them. And it's all about the work that goes on in the workshop prior to the race as well. So reliability is a massive factor in offshore powerboat racing, and at the moment the AMT has been the most reliable boat in this category here this weekend. So Foldsy just hard on the throttles as they throw it up into the top turn. Saracen comes down the front straight away. So 22, unfortunately, race leader. They've won the first two races here this weekend, but problems with that boat now. Up through the top turn and the AMT. Andy Taylor and Paul Folds, they can taste the finish line now as they reel through up through the port turn here on this beautiful Corio Bay course. Charging hard, wide open throttles, those Mercury Racing 3.2 litre Optimax strokers on the back of this boat. 300 horsepower per side. Ripping through, they've only got one more turn to go now as they come down past Cunningham Pier, and nobody around for them. They'll be listening for every vibration, watching all the gauges, but they'll be pretty excited to take a win here and claw back some valuable points against the Saracen team. Down through the bottom turn we go, and it's going to be a big victory here for Andy Taylor and Paul P2 Folds in the AMT Racing. Take the win in the 600 horsepower outboard Supercat category. Reliability, that's what it's all about. Watching the Mohican now come down. This is running in second spot in the 85 mile an hour category. Paddy Boyle and Hannah Searle, and this is going to be a solid second place in a 1-2 victory for the Cootercraft boats. The Cootercraft fans will go wild. The Mohican Paddy Boyle, the Koala boy goes nuts in the driver's seat. Well done, son. And your race winner at 85, they kept chipping away at it. Reliability got them there on the end. Mark the Russian and Amy Preston in the special edition. Cootercraft 1-2 in the 85 mile an hour category. Well done to the team, Cootercraft Races. And into second place, so valuable points still. They've managed to get the boat home. Boat number 22, Saracen, Andy DeFina and Matthew Kelly. So well done to the boys there, ladies and gentlemen. That is our final race for the day. We've racing here this weekend at beautiful Corio Bay in Geelong. We thank the people of Geelong so much for having us. We love coming down here. Everybody's so friendly and looks after us. Conditions have been absolutely beautiful. I'll tell you what, if you live down here, how lucky are you? You wouldn't want to live anywhere else, would you, Scotty? No. So why do? I don't know. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the racing for the weekend. Everybody at home, we hope that you enjoyed the live streaming event that we put on for you. Big thank you to my camera boys and our technical men, Scotty Lambert and Paul. Big thank you to the crew. We've got Benny, Russell, Big Pete. We've got Tony Lowe, Mr. Mickey Curtin up here as well. He's bringing right up in Powerboat News. What's it called? Yeah, Powerboat News. Raceboat News. Raceboat News, there you go. Been a terrific weekend. We hope everybody's enjoyed the racing, and we'll see you next time.